So because I could relate to Chanel so much, she makes a decision about midway through the book. And I'm like yelling at the book like, are you stupid? Like, what are you doing? Hi guys, welcome back to Duel Perspectives. I'm Diamond Simons.
And I'm Sami Iman, and for the month of February, our book of the month is In the Ring by Perri Forrest. And this book is an interracial love story between Chanel Norwood, who is a single mother and successful business owner, and Dario Caivano, who is a successful boxer.
So they have this steamy romantic relationship, and they go through lots of trials and tribulations, family secrets, indecisiveness, but in the end they realize that they are a lot more connected than they think.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
So I like this book. I thought it was a great layout, a great story. I stayed engaged. I love them. I think they're amazing as a couple and I was rooting for them the whole time.
Yeah, I think Perri did a really great job with the characters. I think that they're very relatable. They are, I feel like you will see a lot of yourself in these characters, regardless of which one that you're rooting for. And yeah, starting out, like just knowing the tragedy that happened with Dario, like you already have a little sympathetic twing for him. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and it just carried on throughout the book, and just seeing the type of character he is despite the issues that he has. You're like, okay, you start looking at your man like, how come you don't have, just kidding. I wasn't doing that. But no, it was a really great book. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's a lot coming from me.
Yeah. I could definitely relate to the characters. Like Chanel, been there, been a single mom before, not a business owner while I was a single mom. Well, but so I felt like I could be her. Like I could really relate to her and dating as a single parent and just wanting the best for your child and stuff. And then her son is so freaking smart. I learned from that little boy. He's only what, 12?
Yeah.
And I mean, he was just so
I feel like he was really mature for his age and very intelligent. And when everything starts to come out and how he handles it and how he protects his mother, like it's so cute, and it's so, like, I imagine that's what little boys would do to their mother if they were single mothers out there in the dating scene, like, so who are you?
Right.
And what are your intentions with my mother? I'm like, I do that. And I'm like, who are you?
And so because I could relate to Chanel so much, she makes a decision about midway through the book. And I'm like yelling at the book like, are you stupid? Like, what are you doing? But I guess her situation I couldn't really relate to at the time, but I was like, you just ruined everything. Like, why would you do that? I couldn't really understand why she did what she did. And that's where it kind of took a turn for me. And I was like, whatever.
Well, I disagree with that, because I feel like although I didn't like the decision that she made, I understand why she made it. Because when you're dealing with family secrets and people that you care about, and knowing that this secret could potentially destroy everything that you've worked so hard to create, it makes it really hard to say, okay, let's put it all out on the table, because you have to be ready to tell that information, and especially considering that you swore the secrecy to the person who originally created this secret with you. You know what I mean?
I guess I forgot that she swore the secrecy.
Yeah. Because you got to think about it, like even when she's talking to her mother's like, I know about what you don't want to tell me, you know.
Oh yeah, that's right, because her mom didn't even know.
Yeah,
Well, she thought her mom didn't know.
Yeah, she thought her mom didn't know, but she had overheard a conversation. But ultimately, this was a secret pact between two people that was like, never say a word to anybody. And so she's trying to hold that together. And then you have this person who's threatening that pact.
See, I get that, and you want to hold it together.
Yeah.
But obviously this person really wants to say it, or else he wouldn't have threatened you with that secret. You know what I mean?
Well,
but to make that decision that she made is like, that was
not even
extreme, though.
I don't even feel like it was so much that he wanted to say it, but he wanted to manipulate her. And when you have situations like that, that gives you the opening to be manipulated.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, you want to keep your word, and you want to keep your, you know, the version of truth that you guys have created, and you have this person coming and tearing it down. It's like, how do I keep the fabric of my life the same? You know, and so you make this decision. Like I said, I don't agree with the decision. I don't like the decision, because I would have just been like, look, let's have a round table and let's have a discussion. You know? But I can see where she's coming from when she made that decision. And the ex, it was not his place, and he was a horrible person, and you know, she should have done more than a restraining order before.
Oh, she said she thought about killing him.
I was like, you
but
know,
she's like, I'm not gonna do it.
I mean, I don't condone violence, but you know, you start ripping up the fabrics of my family, and I might have to consider it. Just kidding, guys.
Like,
just
you want
kidding.
some tea?
Yeah.
We can take that out. We can take that out.
With a side of arsenic, like yeah, but what I want to say about the book is that, from a writer's standpoint, what Perri does, switching back and forth between the characters in first person, is very, very good. And it's not an easy thing for people to do. And there's a lot of people who do write in first person and try to do the dual perspectives in the book, but they don't do it very well. And I feel like she does a really good job with it. And like, she keeps Dario's voice very masculine, very rugged. And even in his softer moments, like, he's still like, she doesn't take the manliness out of him, you know. And Chanel was very soft and very feminine. And even in her strongest moments, she was still soft and she was still feminine. And that's really not easy to do. And or to have it come off to a reader as very fluid and cohesive, and I feel like Perri did a really good job with that. And you're kind of like, in both perspectives, rooting for, like, yeah, go get her, and then like, oh, you need to go get him, girl, you know. Like, and yeah, she did a really good job. And
yeah, like I said from the jump, I love them. I was rooting for them from start to finish. I mean, it was so great, and I was so engaged, and I really felt like I could relate to both of them because of how she made them sound, you know. And the grammar, on point.
On point.
There were no errors, or maybe one or two. I don't know, but I look for that kind of thing. But editing, perfect. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, he did a really good job. And now let's get to the fun part.
Uh-oh. What's the fun part?
The steaminess.
Oh, the steaminess. Oh, there was some steaminess, but it was intimate steaminess.
Right.
It wasn't jumping straight to it.
Right. So, you know, like, my whole feeling with sex in a story is that it needs to be intimate sex. It can't be sex for sex's sake, because sex for sex's sake is not entertaining for me. Like, I mean, I know it makes Diamond's fingers tingle, but it doesn't make my fingers tingle at all. And so, but in this book, like, there's quite a bit of sexual encounters in this book, but they are very intimate and sensual, and, you know, like, the kind that makes you be like, oh.
I think it was very tastefully done.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, the words weren't as vulgar, or they weren't as, like, you know, like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe that, but they were very tastefully done.
It was very tasteful, and it was just really great. And truthfully, like, I feel like if you have not picked this book up, you need to go pick it up immediately. And tell her we sent you, if that's what it comes down to.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was so good, and I read through it so quickly.
Yeah.
And I just, cause I couldn't put it down. And I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna read a couple of chapters tonight. And then I wake up the next morning and I'm like, okay, so I'm like on chapter 30.
And then, so we have a schedule where we like to stick to throughout the month, and we read a certain amount of chapters so we can stay on the same page and in the same wavelength. And this girl texts me, I finished the whole book. I couldn't help it. I'm like, what? But
usually it's the other way around though. Usually it's Diamond's like, yeah, I finished it last week. And I'm like, oh man, I still have the whole book to read.
It was great. I really loved it.
It was really good. So yeah, if you haven't picked up this book, pick it up. And we're going to leave a link to it in the description. You can get it on Amazon. And let us know what you think of the book after you read it. And let us know too if you're excited to read it, because I think you will be. And I think that you will be greatly impressed with what you get out of this book. So until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. If you like what you saw today, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Love ya. I feel like Pooh Bear. There's a grumbly in my tumbly. I'm so hungry.
I think that's going to be our blooper at the end. There's a grumbly in my tummy.